Mr. Chairman, I rise in strong support of Mr. Moran's amendment and would point out that I think the gentleman from Michigan in his earlier remarks hit the nail on the head. This is an issue of clarity versus confusion. And the fact is we have become the Congress of confusion. We are charged with running a nation with 300 million people with domestic and international responsibilities. We have now confused the physician community of the United States more than 17 times, sometimes at a 2-week interval, as to what their reimbursements are going to be under the Medicare program. We have people who have suffered loss of life, significant property damage, and dislocation through floods in our nation. We are unable as an institution to resolve our differences on flood insurance and have continued it, if I am correct, at least 11 times. The fact is we have an infrastructure as far as our highways and bridges that are crumbling. We have now 8 or 9 times continued that because we cannot make a decision, and we continue to confuse the states, contractors, and our communities as to what the policy of the United States government is going to be. And depending on what year you died, the last 4 years, including 2012, this nation has had 3 different estate tax laws, and the current one expires at the end of this year, leading to confusion and the hiring of numerous accountants, insurance agents, and attorneys, all of whom I love. Why confuse this nation more by not adopting the clarity of the Moran Amendment? There is no question that the 2 Supreme Court decisions have significantly confused this issue and created uncertainty as to the scope of the Clean Water Act. During multiple hearings before the Committee on Transportation and Infrastructure, witness after witness spoke of how these cases have blurred the lines on what the waters subject to federal protection are. The reason, in short, is because neither case could the majority of Supreme Court justices agree on what was the appropriate test for determining the scope of federal protections based on their reading of the term navigable. No majority of the court could agree what navigable means. In fact, in one of the cases, the level of confusion on the court is reflected in that there are 5 separate opinions filed in the case, with no opinion having more than 4 supporters on the Supreme Court of the United States. The resulting confusion in interpreting the Clean Water Act is apparent to both the regulated community and the regulators. Fact is, the industry has asked for clarification of this confusion through agency rulemaking. The gentlewoman mentioned we need a rule in this. We do need a clarified rule. However, this legislative writer that is in the bill proposes the status quo of confusion, and that is acceptable. It will only result in increased implementation costs to the federal government, to the states, to the regulated community. It will increase delays in the implementation of important public works projects, protracted litigation on the disparity of this language. We need to adopt Mr. Moran's amendment to ensure that we have clarity. We should be taking actions to address the legitimate concerns that have been expressed. But the fact is, this is an issue that Congress and the administration needs to address, and authorizing process to clarify it. This is not an issue that should be continued in confusion in perpetuity through the appropriations process, and therefore, again, I strongly support the gentleman's amendment and would yield back my time.